Listen.
Okay. Hmm? Huh. Yo. Hey. Yo, Adachi-san.
Hey, Kasuga. Thanks for being there during the settlement the other day.
Not a problem. Think of the story we can tell now. You playing a rich guy and me playing your secretary.
I thought it suited us perfectly, to tell the truth. Now how about I buy you a meal? Hmm? Beef bowl sound good?
Hell yeah! Let's go to Akahushimaru. What should I get? The new special looks good, but there's also the old standby.
Come on, when someone's treating you, you gotta go with just a standard beef bowl.
Oh man, really? Well, at least let me get a large. Huh? Adachi-san, isn't that Takashi? Hey, Taka!
Pipe down, dumbass! If he sees me like this, he's gonna know I'm not rich.
Right. Didn't think about that.
Not to mention, a rich philanthropist and his secretary eating at a dingy little beef bowl joint looks pretty weird. Let's get out of here before Takashi sees us.
What about the beef bowl?
Next time. Hey, that's the con man.
Hasegawa.
Okay, even though it was a bust, I still think that guy Yamada is a total sucker. We gotta try again. Okay, come on. Just keep the pen pal thing with him going for now, okay?
Okay.
Come on. We'll come up with a better plan. One that'll make us really rich.
You think the two of them could be working together?
Hey, what's going on here, Takashi?
Yamada-san?
What are you guys doing here?
Oh, we're getting beef bowls, 'cause we're broke. Now tell us what you're doing here.
You're broke?
Yeah, that's right. Mr. Yamada Moneybags was fake. I made it all up. I'm just a jobless old fart named Adachi.
Huh?
Surprise. Adachi-san was just pretending to be a high roller, so Takashi wouldn't feel bad taking his money.
And this is your way of showing thanks? By taking everything I've got?
Takashi, if I were you, I'd start apologizing. Adachi-san's not the only one getting pissed off right now.
We're the ones who need an apology. You've been lying about all this money of yours, and now it turns out you're just some bum.
You stay out of this.
No, I'm gonna fuck you up now. Messing with us and stirring up a bunch of shit? You got it coming, man.
Screw this. Time for me to kick your ass. Let's go out front.
You're gonna be sorry.
Yeah. Come on now. I'm going presidential on your ass.
Let's go. Going in. You need a little time.
The enemy is defeated.
Nice. Look at me go.
God damn.
I'm so sorry.
Do you have any idea what it's been like to be me these past 20 years?
Hey, Kosuke,
Takashi-kun?
I just found this letter in my room. What's this about scraping a bumper and an out-of-court settlement? I don't remember anything about this.
Crap. I can explain.
Dude, did you pretend to be me to squeeze some money out of Yamada-san?
I'm really, really sorry, man.
Hang on a sec, you two. Let's get this cleared up.
Yeah, seriously. This letter is the one I sent to Takashi to set a date for the settlement.
And you sent it to Takashi Kasumi, that's me.
Are you serious right now?
Then who's this?
He's my roommate, Kosuke. There was a time when we were both good students striving to become lawyers. But then Kosuke gave up on having a real career and started hanging out with some losers. My guess is they pressured him into impersonating me. He's not the type to stand up to people. Guess he would have made a crap lawyer.
Look, all I did was mention that my roommate had some sweet-ass deal where rich guy sends him money every month. Hasegawa-san's the one who came up with the scam idea. I'm really sorry.
I'd like to apologize as well, Yamada-san. Although, I guess I should just call you Detective Adachi.
What? How did you know who I was?
I've known for a while. Nobody else would have cared about me enough to support me all this time. But you fought for my father's innocence until the very end.
You know about that?
Yes. Even back then, I knew about it.
Well, then let me say now what I should have said then. I'm sorry I didn't save your dad, Takashi.
Please, don't apologize. You've already helped me make sure that nobody else will suffer like my father did. Because I passed the bar exam.
You what?
Really? You kicked that exam's ass?
I did. They announced the results yesterday.
Hot damn! That's great, Takashi! Really, really great!
I owe it all to you. All your help over the years really made a difference.
Now, well, if you ask me, it was worth every yen.
But I don't want to keep leaning on you, so I ask that you let your most recent gift be the last.
Sure, you don't gotta ask me twice. Even though, this time next month I might be a little sad not to help you.
Oh, then just keep sending it. After all, I could argue that you legally obligated yourself to keep doing it once you started.
What?
It's just kidding, that's not real. And I should know. I'm a lawyer.
Looks like Takashi couldn't pull the fast one on you, Adachi-san.
Yeah, just for a second there.
Nice to see a kid achieve something so big. I mean, that's some real leveling up, becoming a lawyer.
Yeah, God, Takashi must have worked his ass off. Ah, he's a good kid, all right.
Adachi-san, I think your kindness is what taught him to be good.
I don't know. Even without my money, I'm sure he would have made his dreams come true one way or another. That's just the kind of guy he is. He'll be a great lawyer. He'll help a lot of people.
I think you're right about that.
Thanks for everything, Kasuga.
Come on, don't get all sentimental on me.
I mean, it's just that, we've gone through some shit together, but in the end, it's, good times. I'm glad we met each other. I really am.
What a coincidence. I was just thinking the exact same thing.
Nice that the feeling's mutual. How about we celebrate Takashi passing the test with a drink?
Yeah! To great future lawyers, and great former detectives.
Cheers!
Cheers!
Hello, Kasuga-san. I must say this place is quite comfortable.
Yeah, ain't it? Also, seriously, man, how's a guy make drinking alone look so cool? Guess it's easy when you're as handsome as you.
That's kind of you to say. Why don't you let me buy you a drink?
Yo, for real? Hey, now you're speaking my language, man!
You certainly are a mysterious one, Kasuga-san. Sunghui speaks highly of you as well. I dare say it makes me jealous.
Oh, come on. Speaking of, have you been with her long? You've got this butler and lady of the house thing going on.
It's only been 3 years since I was brought into the Komijul. I can't say it's been long.
No shit.
Up until then, I was with a group called the Jingon Mafia. I was their leader's body double.
Body double? You mean like a decoy? Just like the real thing?
Indeed. If my master was ever targeted by our enemies, I was to be killed in his place. That was my duty.
I didn't figure people still did that kind of stuff. Wait, does that mean your face is...
An imitation, yes. What you see is a result of large-scale plastic surgery. But I'll have you know my previous face was rather handsome as well. A shame not a single picture of it exists anymore.
Really? Out the window then, huh?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
So that means Junki Han isn't your real name either, right? What's your real name then?
Surely we're not that close yet, are we?
Come on. First step in becoming friends is calling each other by name, right?
Well, isn't this awkward? I'm afraid I'm the type to want a bit more distance with people.
That how it was with the Jingon Mafia? From the name, I'm guessing it was some sort of Korean Yakuza-like thing?
Weren't you once a member of the Tojo clan, Kasuga-san? I'm surprised you've never heard of the Jingon Mafia.
I was in the clink for a long time.
The Jingon Mafia and the Tojo clan clashed in the 1980s, long before you were serving time.
The 80s? Dude, that's 40 years ago. I was just a baby back then. Doubt I even had hair.
Yes, I had yet to be born myself. Regardless, early in the decade, the Tojo clan attacked the Jingon Mafia and massacred a great number of them. Around 30 or so.
30?
Back then, Kamurocho was the most sought-after territory in all of Asia. I've heard the conflicts for control were rather intense. The Tojo clan was incredibly strong, and they made sure it was a well-known fact.
Still, to off 30 of them is...
To get their revenge, the Jingon Mafia main arm in Korea sent even more members to Japan, some of them as undercover agents. But deception is a tricky business, and all who could not strike at the heart of the Tojo clan were considered failures and forbidden from returning. In the end, those that couldn't carry out the mission were abandoned and left without any place to go. One of them happened to be my father.
Then, you were born here, in Japan?
Yes, but be that as it may, I don't recall being welcomed here. I wasn't even accepted by any Korean communities either. My family was treated like slime and kicked out from wherever we went. We came to be called the Stray Jingon Mafia, running away whenever we were discovered.
Slimes who run away, huh? Stray Jingon Mafia ain't bad, but personally, I think Maverick sounds a hell of a lot cooler.
Maverick. One that strayed from the herd. Maverick Jingon Mafia is a bit of a mouthful, though, isn't it? It's a little much.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Stray Jingon it is.
But I will give you points for style, if nothing else.
Thanks. So, what happened to the Stray Jingon after that?
Enter the 21st century, the winter of 2006. Around the time I turned 20, the Jingon Mafia from the mainland made an all-out assault against the Tojo clan. But even as that happened, the stray Jingon Mafia received not a word of warning. We were left completely in the dark. Our fathers were entirely forgotten by the countrymen that sent them here.
You don't say. I might know a guy who could sympathize with that.
Oh?
Yeah, he's right in front of you. I got tossed out by my family and locked up for 18 years.
Oh, that's right. That must be why I can't bring myself to hate you, Kasuga-san.
So, what happened to the Jingon's big all-out attack?
Despite their careful planning, they were ultimately crushed by the Tojo clan. Ironically, those that survived came from all over to join those of us in the stray Jingon Mafia. It was a miserable sight. Both sides cut off from home and left with no choice but to band together in the social sewer of a country that wasn't theirs.
Sounds like you struggled. Wouldn't know it from looking at you, though.
I could say the same to you.
Yeah, finally starting to warm up to me?
It would seem so. I haven't been acting much like myself today. I had a great time drinking with you, Kasuga-san. I truly mean that.
So whatever happened to the real Junki Han? What's he up to now?
He revived the Jingon Mafia roughly 3 years ago, and at that time had taken over a considerable portion of Kamurocho. But he was shot in the head and killed. I was absent at the time.
And it all came crashing down, huh? Wait, then that means... Can't you use your real name now? Why keep up the body double thing? You're not trying to become the real Jungi Han, are you?
Who can say? But that's none of your concern, is it, Kasuga-san? Or am I wrong?
Nah, you got me there.
Farewell.
Guess he's not the type to open up so easily. I'll just have to keep drinking with him. Yo, Sajan.
Oh, Ichiban. Perfect timing. Listen to this.
What's up? Oh, is it about Nanoha?
Yeah. I worked up the courage to call her and asked if she'd been caught up with any bad guys lately.
And how'd that go?
Well...
Not good, huh? Gotta say, I wouldn't have started with the bad guys line.
I just couldn't find the right thing to say.
Yeah, I know it's hard. But all that matters is getting Nanoha away from that dirtbag.
I don't know. We'd been apart for so many years, I was probably way out of line to tell her to break up with her boyfriend. I'm pretty sure she wouldn't even take my calls if she knew I've been checking up on her this entire time. But at least she still doesn't realize I know about her being employed at a soapland. She can never find out, not ever. I'll pretend not to know for the rest of our lives if I have to. But how do I help her without letting on what I know? If I do nothing, Katsuragawa might bankrupt her and she'll end up right back at the soapland. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? I'm freaking out!
Well, I guess I'll just have to use my ace in the hole.
Huh? You've had a plan this whole time?
I sure do. You introduce Nanoha to a guy who's better than her boyfriend. Then she'll drop that loser like a rock.
No way. Her heart is a complete mystery. I mean, we're talking about a woman who fell in love with Katsuragawa.
Hear me out. You bring in a shining stud that makes all the other dudes look like ass. I bet he'll catch your eye.
Okay, but you're forgetting I don't know any guys like that. Where do I find a stud?
Come on. I'm sure he's closer than you think.
Where?
You're looking at him.
You think you're the dreamy type, Ichiban? That's even funnier than your hair.
I wasn't joking.
Sorry. Sorry. Whew, if it helps, I definitely feel more cheerful about this now.
Good shit then.
Okay, what else can we do? There has to be something.
Well, if you really don't think we can convince Nanoha to dump him, I don't know. Wait, we've been looking at this all wrong. We need to get Katsuragawa to stay away from Nanoha, not the other way around.
How are you gonna do that? Beat him up and run him out of town?
If he were the kind of guy to give up just like that, sure. But he probably isn't. Especially now that he knows Nanoha's willing to be his piggy bank. If we screw this up, he might even take her with him when he bails.
I can't let that happen.
I think what we gotta do is crush his pride. Like, get Nanoha to break up with him without shedding a single tear. As if he's nothing to her.
And how do we do that?
It's so obvious, Sachan. Haven't you caught on yet?
To what?
You pretend to be Nanoha and break up with him. Use the twin angle to your advantage. Yeah, march in and tell Katsuragawa you never want to see him again. I'll stand there and look intimidating while you give him the boot. That'll have him running.
I see. That might actually work.
Let's do it. All we need is to find out where Katsuragawa's hanging out. Your employees could probably do that, right?
No problem. I'll tell the girls to start looking for him right away.
Great. We wait for their word, and we move in for the kill. It'll go fine. I'll be right there with you to make sure he doesn't give you trouble.
It's a date. Good thinking today, Ichiban. I'll go tell the girls to start asking around.
She and her sister are a handful. And it feels like we're finally gonna wrap this up.
Welcome. Thanks.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
Sup?
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Time to hustle! Let's do it!
Watch me.
Take this! Fight!
You're gonna be in a world of hurt.
Cool!
You're
Check this out!
This out! How do you like me now?
Yeah. Watch this!
You're gonna get stomped.
I got this!
Bring it.
Well, you wanna fight?
Prepare to suffer.
Yeah! That's how you do it!
Good times.
Moving up in the world.
I'm getting stronger!
With finesse.
Irashai! ありがとう。
Now it's done. Watch me.
I'm not backing down.
Come on. Weak.
Right.
Eyes on
Let's go.
me.
This out!
Yeah, I got it.
How do you like me now? You're gonna get stomped.
You wanna fight? Yeah. Good fight.
Good time.
I feel the stats going up. Hell yeah.
Nice!
So itchy. Hmm?
Hey, isn't this where people have been seeing that masked killer?
Oh yeah, that sign! It's the same one from the video, right?
Wow, you're right. No way! This place is iconic!
We should look around a bit. What if he's actually here?
Yeah, let's go!
Did she say iconic?
I'd get it if this place was in a movie or TV show or something, but not for some murderer.
Tell me about it. Michan's place has gotten reservations canceled because of it.
Seriously? This rumor's becoming a real problem.
All this talk about a masked killer sounds crazy. Are they for real? Maybe that guy could fill me in. Sup?
Hmm?
Hmm?
Ah.
Wow.
Ah.
Yeah. Got it.
Mission imperative. Well. Weak. Take this.
You're gonna be in a whirl.
You're in for it.
Get serious. Come on now.
Here we go.
Weak.
Try this on for size.
I got this.
It's showtime, boys.
Wanna fight? okay.
Watch me.
Clear the way. Nice! Look at me go!
Hey, you okay? You don't look so hot.
Oh, Kasuga-san! No, I'm alright.
You sure? You shouldn't overwork yourself, you know?
I'm sure. I have to do this for Ma-kun.
Hey, Megumi!
Megumi!
Are you okay?
Hi, Dad. Hi, Mom. Yeah, I'm okay. I have to keep earning donations.
You should take it easy for now.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Let's get you home.
Listen to your mother, sweetheart.
Okay.
I'm so sorry to get you involved in all of this. Would you happen to be Kasuga-san?
What gave it away?
Megumi's told us a lot about you. She said a friendly man with shrub hair has been helping her out.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks to your help, she's had great success in gathering donations. We wanted to express our gratitude earlier, but...
No, it's no problem. But what about Megumi? I know it's for her little brother, but don't you think she might be working too hard?
She must have heard my wife and I talking about our financial troubles and taken it upon herself to make things better. We're here now because we were contacted by her school. It seems she hadn't been showing up lately. Skipping school to collect donations for her brother. I'm ashamed it took us so long to find out.
Don't overdo it yourself, all right?
Yes, I'll certainly try. Thank you. Well, I'd better get back to work. Once again, thank you for today. Now, if you'll excuse me.
I didn't know Megumi had it that bad. Maybe there's something I can do. Who's hungry?
Me. Delicious.
ありがとうございました。
The drinks were nice.
My cheeks red.
long time ago, this road was used primarily by men on horseback. You might have even seen some of those fancy white horses.
Oh yeah? Think there might have been a Prince Charming up on one of those?
Bunch of fairy tale nonsense if you ask me. Then and now.
Wow, you must be really fun at parties.
Nah, I bet they're around even now. At princes, I mean.
Huh?
A prince on a white horse in modern times would be like... I guess it'd be like a handsome dude rolling through in a fancy foreign car. Slap Jungi Han in a nice car, instant prince.
You have literally no filter, do you?
Oh, now hold on. I don't believe I'm entirely fit to play a prince.
I don't hear you denying the handsome part.
Excuse me. You wouldn't be Ichiban Kasuga, would you?
Eh? I mean, yeah, that's me.
Oh, I should introduce myself. My name's Kaede Tono. I knew I'd get to see you again someday.
Hey, Kaede-chan? Sorry, but do we know each other?
We did meet once, a long time ago. I was assaulted on the streets of Kamurocho, but you came to my rescue before any harm was done.
Kamurocho. You sure it was me you ran into? My memory's kind of hazy on that.
Well, I guess it's not that important. It was a long time ago.
That sucks. Thought I'd remember helping out such a cutie.
Oh, please. Cute is the last thing I am. Anyway, I didn't get the chance to thank you back then. I just couldn't say anything at the time.
Well, it's nice that you still remember me. But you know, if we were both in Kamurocho, then why didn't we run into each other again?
That's the thing. I rarely set foot outside because of my illness. I couldn't even go to school. That's probably why we never saw each other around. I had really hoped we would catch up sooner, but I guess time waits for no one. Eventually, I realized you had packed up and left town for good.
Oh.
But I decided I would find you someday, somehow, and express my gratitude then. So, yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Glad to see you're healthy, too.
Well, I'm no longer confined to a hospital bed, I can tell you that much. I'm free to roam the world now. So I guess I'm trying to cross things off my bucket list. And the first thing on it was finding you.
Oh, yeah? So even though this girl only met me once, she's been waiting for me all this time. And here I was thinking no one gave a damn about me being gone. Almost makes me want to cry. All right, now let's go out to celebrate. In honor of your return to the outside world.
You mean it? I would love to. Though, the way we're talking about it makes it seem like I just got out of prison.
Yeah. Why would I know anything about that?
Well, I'm happy either way. So are we leaving right now? If you have things to do, I could always wait.
Yeah, I'm good to go. Shall we?
Okay, then lead the way.
Only thing is, I have no idea what kind of things she'd be into. What would make her happy? Well, how about an arcade? Nothing cheers you up like a good game.
Oh, I'd love that. I've actually never been to an arcade.
No way. Really? Right. You've been stuck inside a hospital this whole time. Well, let's head on over.
Okay.
Yeah.
を狙うかが重要だよ。狙いを決めてけー。どうだ。コングラチュレーション。いきまーす。ストップ。狙いを決めて。こんなところで止めちゃって。どうだ。いきまーす。ストップ。狙いを決めて。いけー。どうだ。コングラチュレーション。また来てね。もう。
ん？
Hey.
いいえ。
Okay.
ありがとうございます。
え？
Ah.
Show me what you got.
I'll show you a fight.
Hora, Kuyo, let's go. Kiagare. Let's get it done. Get serious. Check this out.
You're gonna be in a world of hurt. Try and stop me. Try this on the side.
Feeling better. I feel the stats going up.
Moving up in the world.
I'm getting stronger!
Nice!
Damn. Ugh. Ugh. Shouldn't have picked a fight with some psycho.
Take it from me, you're better off finding a temp job. You okay, Kaede-chan?
Kasuga-san, I'm fine, thanks. You protected me just like before. Even after all these years, you're still my one and only hero.
Right. If you say so.
It's getting pretty dark out. Guess that means our date's almost over. Hey, Kasuga-san?
Huh?
There's one more place I'd like to go. Would you mind staying with me just a little longer?
Sure.
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I've always wanted to see the town lit up at night like this.
It is a sight to see. Never thought a view like this was in my own backyard. You know, it's crazy how we met up out of nowhere. Especially after all this time.
Yeah, tell me about it. You know, I would watch you all the time from my hospital room.
Wait, watch me doing what?
Well, at first, I only heard your voice. You were really loud, so that's what initially got my attention. Give me back my change, or me too, still eating. I would hear that kind of thing every day.
Yeah, that does sound a lot like me.
At first, I wasn't sure what to think of you, but I warmed up to you pretty quick. Instead of lying around in bed wondering whether I'd live or die, I had someone else to focus on. Whenever you were in short sleeves, I knew it was summer. Or when you wore a scarf, I knew it was winter.
Really? Damn, if I'd known I was being watched, I would have worn cooler stuff.
No, what you wore was perfect. It reflected the true you, Kasuga-san. The man I fell in love with.
Huh? You serious? Oh, hold on. Did I hear you right? You love me?
I hope that's not a problem. Hey, Kasuga-san? Live long and stay happy for both of us.
Huh?
Hey, no loitering, you drunk! Hey, who were you babbling to just now?
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to make a scene or anything. Huh?
You wasted, big guy? Maybe you need to walk down to the station.
No, officer. No need for that. I was just about to leave.
Yeah? Well, I suggest you get on home. Don't be a nuisance.
Okay. Maybe we'll meet again. When it's my time. Hmm? Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Grand Animal Circus. We're here today at Hamakita Park to bring you a day of excitement and fun. And don't forget to take some time to meet and greet our animals, the stars of the show. They're all very well behaved, so don't miss this chance to make some new friends.
Meet and greet with the animals, huh?
This here is Catherine-chan the bear. Go on, step right up and shake her paw. You can even get your picture taken with her. What do you say?
Shaking hands with a bear? You sure that's safe?
Not to worry. Catherine-chan has gone through special training, so she's actually quite friendly with people. Not only is she an acrobatic wonder, she knows how to please her fans. She was a real good girl during the move here. I've raised her since she was a cub, and I can assure you she is most gentle. She listens to me no matter what. You might say we're kindred spirits, she and I. Please, I'm talking to our guest here. Now, where were we? Oh, right. Catherine-chan. Yes, indeed. You should definitely take the chance to meet her and see our show.
So, does this Catherine-chan ever go outside?
No, she may be tame, but she never goes outside. Doing so would give her far too much excitement, so everything stays within her cage. And don't you worry, her cage is locked up good and tight. That's right. Why, this lock here... Wait. This is the lock to Catherine-chan's cage. Ah! Catherine-chan's gotten loose! Catherine-chan, be a good girl and return to your cage.
She listens to me no matter what. What a load of crap.
You, please, help me get Catherine-chan back in her cage.
Huh? Me? You're out of your damn mind. You've known her since she was a cub, right? You do it.
No, no way. I was foolish to think man could form any kind of bond with a beast like her.
Shit, this dude's totally lost it.
You'll have to hold her down. I promise to pay you back. We can't have her reach the city.
Yeah, I get that, but... Damn. This is gonna be interesting.
Let's beat him down!
I'll show you a fight.
I got this.
I'm not backing down.
Prepare yourself.
Yeah? Ass-kicking time!
Huh?
Come on now!
You're in for it.
I'm going presidential on your ass!
Hope you're ready.
Let's do it!
How charming.
No begging for mercy now. Watch this.
You're gonna get stomped.
I got this. Take this.
Be still, would you?
Yeah? Let's get it done!
Let's see.
Check this out! Wanna fight?
Try and stop me. Try this on the side.
You're in it now!
You're in for it now.
Now we're talking.
Let's go!
Have fun with this.
I'm not backing down.
Well,
Weak. I got this.
You're gonna be in a
Care
world.
for a magic trick?
Wanna fight? Ass-kicking time! Who the...
I'm not backing down.
You're weak.
You're gonna get stomped.
Get serious. Come on now! Got something for you.
I'm not backing down.
Weak.
Do
Bring it on.
Let's go!
Eyes on me.
I got this!
I got this.
You wanna fight? Take this! You're in it now!
Take your
No begging for mercy now! Watch this!
Good luck next time.
Nice! Look at me go! Hell yeah! I'll take it.
I did it!
You should hurry back to your cage, Catherine.
Amazing! Catherine John went back to her cage all on her own.
Meet and greet my ass.
Thank you very much. I must say, I'm amazed Catherine John listened to someone other than me.
You know, I don't think she was listening to you much in the first place.
Either way, we can now carry on with the show. This is a small token of my appreciation. Please, take it. I just realized I hadn't formally introduced myself. My name is Yakuza, and I'm the ringmaster here at the Grand Animal Circus.
I'm Kasuga. So you're the ringmaster, huh?
Yes, though there's not much to be ringmaster over with such a small staff. We travel all over the country with our amazing animals.
All over the country?
Indeed. Circuses typically hold their shows in big cities. But there are many children outside these cities who cannot attend. So we hold our shows as we travel from place to place. I was one of those children once. The first time I was taken to see the circus, I was overjoyed. I want to share that same joy with as many children as possible. Honestly, we're struggling to stay in business. But in spite of this, I aim to do nothing but my absolute best.
I got you. I hope it all works out.
Oh, Kasuga-san, our next show is about to start soon. Care to marvel at all that Catherine Chan can do? It's sure to be quite a show.
No, I think I'm marveled out for the day. Wouldn't want to cause another scene.
I understand. Well, please stop by any time. There will be other animals besides Catherine Chan in our upcoming shows.
Yeah? They ain't gonna escape, are they?
Don't worry, they're incredibly obedient.
I'll take your word for it. All right, think I'll head out then. Keep an eye on those friends of yours, yeah?
I will. Thank you again, Kasuga-san.
Damn. Hell of a day. That ringmaster said they'll be holding more shows here. I should probably check them out next time I'm around.
We've been walking for a while now. Want to take a break somewhere?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind some tea.
What's wrong, Namba? You've been awfully quiet.
Nothing. Just my stomach's not feeling so great. Yeah, I'm thinking that room temp milk went bad. Anyway, I think it's getting better.
Oh, all right. Just don't push yourself.
Uh-oh, nope. Oh, God. Do you think I'll be at peace in the afterlife? Oh.
Yo, Namba's gonna blow! We gotta do something!
Yeah. How about we abandon him here?
Should I open it? Got it!
Hey, Chief. I was thinking, maybe we could go grab a drink like last time?
You want a drink?
Oh. Should I not have asked?
No, you're good. Just didn't expect that. But yeah, let's drink for sure.
Awesome. How does going to survive again sound?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, I'll meet you there.
You drinking, Namba?
Oh, Ichiban. I'm glad you're here. We need to talk.
We do? Is it something serious?
Look, I need to tell you I'm sorry. For lying.
You mean about chasing the counterfeit bill?
Yeah. Think you can forgive me?
Come on, you know we're past that. What's important is your brother got released. All's well that ends well, right? That said, maybe now's a good time to tell me if there's any other holes in your story. You really were a nurse at some point, right?
Well, of course I was a nurse. How else could I have brought you back from the brink of death?
Good point. Then, what about the part where you sold hospital meds? Didn't you say that's how you got your nursing license revoked?
Well, that's the short version, but it's more complicated, actually.
What do you mean?
You'll be the first person I've ever told this to, so I hope you plan on sitting for a while.
Yeah, man, I'm all ears.
Back in elementary school, I read about Florence Nightingale. That's when I knew I was meant to be a nurse. Helping the sick, people being grateful for it, it's all I ever wanted in life. But when I finally put on my scrubs, it was different. Endless late shifts, difficult patients, never a word of thanks. Eventually, I just stopped caring. Little by little, I started cutting corners any way I could. I'd pretend not to hear the intercom, and instead, I'd go doze off somewhere. By the time I hit 40, I had no idea why I ever went into the field. But then one day, this new girl named Mizue showed up. And in her introduction, she brought up who else but Nightingale.
Just like you, huh?
We had the same role model, but she still had her spirit. She would rush toward every patient in the ward, never missed a beat. On top of that, she always had the sweetest smile.
So, you had a thing for her?
Are you kidding me? She was 23 and a looker. and I was just a middle-aged loser.
Ever seen those old dudes walking around with hot young arm candy? You gotta be like those guys.
Well, those guys also have cash to spare.
Not always. If you could clean up a little and stay on top of the trends, I bet you'd be covered in ladies, instead of pigeon shit.
Wow. Can't believe you'd say that to my face. But you're probably right.
Anyway, back to Mizue-chan. What happened?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Whenever I saw her working, I could feel my old self coming back. That young version of me, who used to give it his all.
Well, that's a good sign.
If only I had half her stamina and wasn't twice her age. Anyway, one night I was a little sleepier than usual. So I went out to the back lawn, thinking maybe I could sneak in a nap. And suddenly, I heard a noise from behind. I turned around to find the storeroom we keep the medicine in wide open. And Mizue-chan was walking out alone.
Was she restocking? I mean, if you were slacking off, she was probably having to bust her ass.
Well, that's the thing. In our hospital, only the pharmacists have access to the storeroom. Mizue-chan and I were just nurses. We didn't even need to go in there.
Then what was she doing?
Well, at the time, there was a rumor floating around the hospital.
Uh-oh.
Medicine would keep disappearing. The list never matched the inventory. According to the rumors, someone was swiping medicine and selling it. Illegally.
No way. And that was Mizue-chan?
It was. As my eyes adjusted, I could clearly see her arms were full of medicine boxes.
But why would she need to sell medicine?
From what I heard, her parents were under a mountain of debt. So, to lighten some of their load, Mizue-chan was paying everything she could. But a single nurse's salary wouldn't get them out of the hole. No way.
So she was stealing the meds to do it?
Yep. And I was the sole eyewitness. Thing is, Mizue-chan never noticed me there. Now, if it was you, Ichiban, what would you have done?
Well, calling her out on it would seem to be the right thing to do. But I guess she wasn't stealing it just to be a criminal, huh?
Not in the slightest. She was only doing it for her family. I mean, yeah, she was breaking the law, but she wasn't trying to hurt anyone.
Plus, getting caught would cost her her job. Then the debt would only have gotten worse. With all that in mind, I'd say it's a pretty tough call to make.
Huh. Now you're on the same page I was. Anyway, in the end, all I could do was watch her walk away without saying a word. If there ever was a criminal who deserved a free pass, it was Mizue-chan. That was what I thought at the time. So I turned a blind eye.
And what happened after that?
It wasn't long before Mizue-chan's actions caught up with her. The hospital director decided to get the police involved and started gathering evidence.
He waited that long to take action?
Well, he was trying to resolve it internally, being that the hospital's reputation was at stake. I guess he got sick of having a thief under his nose, so he escalated it to the next logical step.
But if the cops caught Mizue-chan stealing, that'd be bad news.
She'd have a police record, and her name in all the papers. To be honest, it was only a matter of time. She had her whole life ahead of her. Now, how could that happen to someone so young? And on the other hand, you've got me. A guy who totally burned out. A guy who couldn't be further from Florence Nightingale. Better a saint like Mizue-chan stay at the hospital than a sack of shit like me, wouldn't you say?
Namba, are you telling me you...
Yeah. I went up and confessed to the whole thing. Stealing, selling, and all.
And that's how you lost your nursing license?
Yep. No, and I got fired too. Naturally.
Man, you went all out for that girl. Did she ever contact you after that? Even a call or a letter?
Not that I'm aware. In a matter of hours, I was out of a job and out on the streets.
You regret any of it?
Well, my brother disappeared not long after, so even if I didn't get canned, I would have quit on my own anyway. So, no, to answer your question. Though I do have to admit, I would like to see Mizue-chan off when she goes overseas.
She's going overseas?
Yeah. She always dreamed of running off to some developing country where they really need medical professionals.
She took that Nightingale shit seriously.
Our hospital had an international dispatch program, available to staff nurses with at least 3 years tenure. This year would be Mizue-chan's third, and I know she would take advantage of it.
Well, in that case, why not go say farewell?
If only I could. For starters, I don't even know when she leaves.
Maybe if you ask one of your old nurse buddies, they'll tell you.
Don't be ridiculous. I'm the little rat who stole the medicine, if you forgot that detail. They want nothing to do with me.
Well, hello, boys. Don't worry, the life of the party's here. Care to bring me up to speed?
Oh, Sachan. Wait, are you drunk?
I think you're drunk. Now, fill me in, if you please.
Oh, Nama here was going off on one of his hobo horror stories again.
Hobo horror stories?
Well, no house means no toilet, right? Care to guess what he had to do when he had the shits?
Yeah, I'd rather not. And here I was, thinking I'd get actual substance out of two grown men instead of literal crap.
Thanks for covering for me.
I got you, man.
I don't mind if we let Sayoko know at some point, but preferably not when she's plastered.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hey, Chief.
Hey, yourself. You wait long?
Not at all. I'm glad you made it out. You know, I've been thinking about how lucky I am to have you around. Our company would be nowhere without you.
Oh, come on. We both put in work, and look where that got us. We made money, shared memories. I'm the one who's lucky. I mean, I was broke on the street not that long ago.
Even so.
Hey, let me ask you. Where do we go from here?
Huh? You mean, like, what's our relationship? You can't be thinking marriage. Are you?
What? Come on. I'm talking about our company here.
Oh, right. The company, Ichiban Holdings. Of course.
Do you have a vision for it, Eri-chan?
Oh, now you want to talk about the future.
Hey.
But in all honesty, my vision so far, it's been to keep my dad's company afloat. I hadn't thought much further than that. As long as the business is operating, that's good enough. Or so I thought. Now I know there's more to it. If I want us to grow as a business, we have to do more than keep the status quo. We need to be ambitious in order to survive. Which is why I came up with a new goal for us.
Yeah? And what's that?
To make Ichiban Holdings the best in the country, and maybe even the world, at bringing people joy.
That does sound ambitious.
Now, of course, I have to prioritize things like sales and profit. That's a given. But what good is a wealthy company without happy employees or satisfied customers? They're the backbone of our business. Eventually, we'll scale and expand our operation. But we build it on trust and goodwill. Those things always come first.
Hey, I like it. That's an Eri-chan goal if I ever heard one.
Well, forgive me if it's too idealistic. I'm sure that's exactly what Hosho picked up on when he met me.
Don't say that. Your ideas are really good. And you've grown so much since then.
I'm happy you think so, Kasuga-san.
Now, Eri-chan, I still plan on hustling like my life depends on it. For you and your company. What I want from you is to hold me up when I falter. To always be there by my side.
Huh?
Was that too much?
Kasuga-san!
Eri-chan.
Oh gosh! I don't think I can handle this!
Eri-chan! You awake?
Kasuga-san... Did I just...
Pass out? Yeah. You scared the crap out of me. So, I brought you here to rest.
Is that what happened? I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did that.
Hey, you don't gotta apologize. You are okay, right?
My head's still spinning. I think I just got a little overwhelmed.
You were overwhelmed? By what? Was it something I said?
It wasn't exactly what you said, but the intention behind it.
I'm not sure I get it, but won't you feel better if you take a load off and rest? That might help.
Yeah, maybe so. I'll take you up on that.
Good. Get some sleep, Eri-chan.
I will. Good night, Kasuga-san. That was a good nap. Huh? Did you fall asleep too? I guess even you get exhausted. You said you wanted me right there by your side. Someday, you'll be saying that as my man, and not just my business partner. I hope.
Eri-chan?
Kasuga-san.
Eri-chan!
What's wrong?
Huh? Eri-chan? What about that kiss? Was it all a dream?
I'm not sure what you mean, Chief. Could it be you were sleeping too long?
Know what? Forget it. Pretty sure that was a dream. Yep.
What were you dreaming about, if I may ask?
Oh, it was something really nice.
I see. Well, I'm happy for you. Ready to go downstairs now?
Yeah. Back to reality, I guess.
I knew you two had to wake up sometime.
Yeah. Sorry for knocking out up there. But man, I really needed that.
I'm sure you did. You two enjoy your private time?
Huh?
Anyway, I suggest you go wash up.
Oh, right.
You know, miss, you're craftier than I gave you credit for.
Huh? That's not what I was... Look, can you keep this a secret?
Of course. My business also runs on joy. Be it at the end of a glass or a good conversation.
Thank you.
Hey, what are you guys talking about?
Oh, just our vision, right?
Right.
What? Are your eyes bad?
Not that kind of vision.
You guys like that?
I'll give you an A for effort.